excited for this, actually. I really do think this is going to be a good series. We start off on Dusk Towers. As to the bottom left-hand side from Team MVP is going to be our blue Terran player. Let's see if you're cheering on Ryung. A nice sniffle. That's my cheer for Ryung. He, of course, takes on the player who's now 2-0 in the group, looking very good to advance on through into the next stage. It is going to be Scarlett to the upper right-hand side as well. Can still come down to map score, though. If Ryung goes 3-0, then... Well, actually, if Ryung goes 3-0, then actually, no, it can't be, because Jigwe would... it could be a tie still. So if Saber Altaria goes 0-3, Ryung goes 2-1, losing to Jigwe but beating Scarlett, then we will have a 2-1 tie between Jigwe, Scarlett, and Ryung. So then it comes down to map score. Scarlett and Jigwe both Scarlett and Iazoni, not Jigwe. Scarlett and Iazoni have both so far 2-0'd Saber Altaria, and Scarlett beat Iazoni in 2 games to 1. So it could depend on the map score of the rest of the matches. So yeah. As we set up into this TVZ, guys, just waiting to see what's going to be happening, waiting to see what's going to be going on. Waiting to see how things are going to be going here, as we have from Scarlett the hatch pool, and she loves to go just gasless on this map into the fast free hatch. It's how she loves to play, so she likes to do this. She does this a lot on this map, so no real surprise to see it at Kia being cracked out against Ryung, who is just going to be himself going for a very standard Reaper Expand to kick us off into game number 1 on Dusk Towers. Not a surprising map to see either. Dusk Towers, this map where it's one of these maps where you kind of expect to see kind of the macro games, and it's, in the majority of series we see being played. We're probably also, I don't know what the actual vetoes were, again, I missed them, but I think probably Frozen Temple. Scarlett actually quite likes to leave King Sejong in the map pool as well, so Frozen Temple, King Sejong most likely as our next maps, maybe Frost as well, also a possibility. Oh my god, they have broken the camera again. I don't know how they do this. How do they do it so often? I really don't understand what they can be possibly doing to, like, break it so... I just don't understand what they can do to break it so often here. Like, you're right. Like, how? Every time we're on Dusk Towers, they seem to break it. I just don't understand. Do they keep... Because to break it, I'm pretty sure they must go into, like, one of the player's views, and the player must be tilting their screen, like, rotating their screen, and why would a player rotate their screen? Like, it's something that people don't really do very often, so... We're going to watch this TVZ at a bit of an angle. Going to see things from a bit of a different perspective compared to usual, guys, so enjoy. Enjoy your new outlook on StarCraft. As we see, Ryung is going to go into a second reactor, so... a lot of turn players lately have been using this sort of opening where we see the second reactor coming in, and we see sort of the double liberator play very early in the game. If it is going to be double liberator, it might not be double liberator, it might be something a bit different, such as a... it might be something a little bit different, such as like a... like a medevac and something as well, and in fact that's exactly what this is going to be here. He's going to be having just one medevac right now. He's actually a little bit slow on gas. I think Ryung's messed up his build somewhere, because his he seemed just to be a little bit low on gas, but now he starts up a liberator as well, so maybe it was just supply blocked. Sorry, it'd be nice if we had the production tab on to see. I think it's just supply blocked then for a little bit. So medevac and a liberator. So it's kind of we've been talking about this all day, where the reactor on the starport can mean so many different things, and that's definitely what we're sort of seeing right now. Actually, is so many different sort of things here as a possibility. So many different ways to play with. This time it's going to be that liberator medevac combo, whereas before we saw the double liberator coming out. So yeah, lots of just different ways that this can kind of turn around, and ways this can go. As we see, the medevac is going to try and boost in towards the natural. We'll see how well Scarlett can defend against this. She's already got spores on the way up, so I think she's already looking to be pretty well defended. And as we see, just needs to kind of get rid of this Widowmine drop, which is going to be a bit of a nuisance. That liberator starting to move in towards the main base as well. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of moments. So just going to be seeing the Marines just fighting their way against the Overlord here. Just going to be looking to try and take that down. Medevac loads up, getting very low on health. Very low on health. I'm just going to be seeing the Sport Crawler just going to be burrowing underneath this Liberator now. So Sport Crawler burrows underneath the Liberator, and you're just going to be seeing the Liberator getting pushed away. Doesn't go down. Ryung, of course, too good to just let it die. And Scarlett, well, still on a good work count. 60 workers, 59 workers to the 46. Still looking good for her. She starts to get a bit more damage onto this Liberator again. But she is losing mining time. And that's something to keep in mind here, that she's consistently being forced to pull away from her mineral line here. And that's going to definitely affect her economy and slow her down a bit as the game goes on. As this time, I think enough queens there to actually fight that Liberator. Back at home, we see tank production and extra racks now coming into play from Ryung. As we see that Liberator has gone down. Looks like it might cost her one queen, not 100% sure. As we have the Ling is just going to move over to the right. And again, more racks just continue to come up. Going to start up that stim pack here. Wow, another racks. That's going to be, what, 6 racks then? So, very aggressive number of racks coming into play here from Ryung. Interested to see how this continues on as we see the Tech Lab finishing on the factory once again to continue tank production. I mean, it's very difficult for him to realistically be aggressive with kind of a big army right now because he needs stim and combat before he can move onto the map. But what he can do is exactly what he's doing here, which is a couple of tanks and medevacs, send these across the map, use those as a way to start cleaning up a few of these creep tumors and just start applying a little bit of pressure. And this is one of the things that we see Scarlett has fallen apart to the last couple of times we saw her play, against Gumiho, for example, against Natural in the Doyu monthly finals the other day. As we see these couple of tanks just moving forwards and just going to unload here. Another couple of bunch of Lings taking some damage. And she's going to start coming in, looking to just fight this again. She wants to try and keep her creep spread active. The better creep spread she has, the more easily she can push these tanks away and keep them from being anywhere too annoying. As we see the medevacs lifting up once again. Those tanks and just pulling away over towards the bottom left. So actually, for now, she's going to have held off Ryung's tank-based aggression. Sim going to be finishing soon, so we go get ready. Scarlett does for that kind of first push with Marines, and that's starting to come across the map right now. Again, Ryung with so many racks up, we have a lot of Marines available. First few Banes coming in from Scarlett. It'd be nice to see the production tab again, just see how far along Bane speed is, for example. See if there's a Mutalisk, Aspire on the way up, and that's switching to Mutalisks. It'd be nice to see that she's got 8 queens right now. Obviously, opening gases allows her to get a lot of queens early, but that's going to be something that she's going to use throughout the game to defend against these tanks, against medevacs, just in general drops and so on. And again, I mean, even super late, she can use them to transfuse against transfuse Ultralisks and so on as well. So it's going to be seeing Scarlett continue to kind of take, again, just losing a creep tumor, so nothing too much, but Ryung just with a way to kind of clean up some of the creep spread and then again try and slow Scarlett down a little bit during this game. As he scans into the main base, finds absolutely no information there, not even a lair. And so he's just trying to identify what's going on. We actually see Corruptors have come up from Scarlett off of Aspire, so that's why we wanted to see the production tab. And Hive's about to finish too. So the Spire is going to give her Corruptor, so she's going to play a kind of Link-Bane Corruptor. And we'll see what she does off the Hive, whether she goes into Ultras or whether she's actually going to play straight into Broodlords. I imagine Ultras. The Corruptors are actually pretty powerful because it means that the lower Liberator counts are immediately going to be in trouble against the Corruptors that she has, so we're going to see those couple of tanks just unloading. We're going to see Scan, a little bit more creep spread being taken down as Ryung continues to push in towards this upper right hand side of the map. So a little bit of creep being taken down there as we see, well, Link-Bane Corruptor continue to set up, and Ryung not going to attack into this just yet. He's waiting for his 2-2 perhaps. 2-2 upgrade is actually pretty even on either side. We see Corruptor's going to lead the charge, just seeing if there's a medevac out the front she can pick off, but there isn't. And there's that Ultra Cavern on the way down, Adrenal Glands as well, and Scarlett is going to hit her late game. And this is the point in the game where Ryung probably just wants to start going in towards that very standard sort of Liberator switch to start fighting against this sort of Ultralist based army which is going to be coming out over the next few minutes. But going to try and pressure before, then going to try and attack on in. Tank's going to drop forwards in a very aggressive position. It's a very difficult spot to attack into because of the way this ledge works. Let's see if Scarlett can take this fight. She died in a very similar way to Gumiho the other day in the Doyu monthly finals, and it was just this kind of position she couldn't find a way to break it. So let's see if she has an answer right now as we see another scan coming down. Creep being cleaned out, 4th base under some pressure. She's being split up by units. Bane speed isn't ready yet. Infestation page about to finish in pathogen glands, but we don't see infestors on the map just yet either. Scarlett being patient though, she's just saying, well, you know what, you're not doing too much damage to me, so I'm quite happy to just sit and wait as we see her actually picking off a couple of medevacs with these Corruptors, so that's not so bad as it looks as though she's getting ready to go in. She's going for the big surround over to the left hand side, from the top and from the right as well. Corruptors are coming in, they're going to start cleaning out a lot of these medevacs, meaning there's no real retreat path, but, well, you can just see Ryung's traded so well here. Wow, I mean, Ryung just takes a huge win in that fight. I mean, I don't even know what went wrong for Scarlett. It looked as though it was a good flank, just didn't have what she needed to fight against that tank-based army, and well, now she's got Ultras on the way, but That was that's a little bit weird. Like you know, like she seemed to have enough, but just got completely crushed in the engagement. So I'm not sure. She keeps kind of struggling against this sort of army and against this sort of timing attack, it seems, on this map. So it's something we've seen from her before. And Ryung will take game number 1. Now, let's see if Scarlett can fight back. She managed to fight back from a 1-0 deficit the other day when she played it against Gumiho. Let's see if she can do it again here. We'll see what map number 2 is going to bring. Maybe switch. When I'm in London, it might be good to catch up. I'm not going to be in London anytime soon. Well, I'm going to London to go to Valencia, but I'm not really spending time in London. I'm actually not going to London. I'm going to Kent. I'm going through London to get to Kent. But that's about it. Not very exciting. I went to London a lot last year because of Gfinity, but of course Gfinity doesn't do StarCraft events right now, so it's a bit of a pain. As we have to the bottom left-hand side of the map, kicking this off into game number 2. Sorry for the delay, guys, just some caster issues. The bottom left is going to be our pink Zerg player Scarlett, looking to fight back and take game 2. And she actually opens up with the gas pool, so maybe a bit aggressive again, like we saw her do against Saber Altaria. See how well it works against the red Terran player. This time it is Ryung to the bottom right-hand side of the map. You would sub, but you're not even old enough to have a credit card. You don't need a credit card to sub. Just, yeah, I don't know what you can sub with. You can sub with so many different things. It's actually crazy. Someone told me, actually Billy Nasty told me. I haven't seen Billy Nasty for a long, long time. I wonder where he's been. Probably busy with life. Where has he been? Last seen 23rd of May. So he's not been here for a while. Billy Nasty actually told me he's subscribed with a Subway card. Like, what on earth? Like a Subway card that you can like buy Subways with. Like, what on earth? That's crazy. You can literally do it with a. You can pay with a Subway card to sub. There's so many ways you can sub. It's crazy. As we're going to see the Rotron just going to be popping out here in a moment or two from Scarlett. She's going to go super aggressive. So I sort of mentioned, like, she's looking to do what she did against Altaria, but completely different. Completely different here, as we're going to see the Lings just moving over to the right-hand side of the map. So already looking to maybe try and delay the command center. Ryung, I don't think is scouted yet. I actually can't check his vision, of course, so I don't think Ryung is scouted yet. 3 roaches on the way. We see the inject will pop, and then there'll be more roaches on the way. I actually see Lings getting into the main base. And Reaper's on the low ground, which is going to keep him from scouting. That's the thing with these Lings. They kind of keep the Reaper from scouting, which is very annoying. You're actually going to see Scarlett. Is she going to get that SCV? She can't target it, I don't think. She doesn't get it. Doesn't delay the factory just yet. She actually morphed a Ravager in on her own side of the map. More Lings on the way out and going across the map as well here in a moment or two. And I'm just going to be seeing the Lings continue to come out from Scarlett, so she's going to go super aggressive here, obviously. I mean, she might kill the command center, but she kind of has to kill the command center to be okay in this game. If she doesn't even kill the command center, she is in a tough spot because she doesn't even have a hatchery just yet, you know? She has no natural, so she has to kill the command center. That's a completely vital part of this build right now. And there's that SCV going down. So this is interesting. We're going to see, because Marine's up, we're going to see, Marine's actually taking some damage there straight away. We're going to see the Tech Lab being targeted. That's so cute. If she can kill the Tech Lab, that's huge. Does she get another set of bars? Oh, tank does start. But she will kill it now. So, well, interesting. We're going to see this depot going down. She might just be able to kill the tank when it comes out, you know? We're going to see more Biles coming in. We're going to see SCVs will be, not quite caught in that, actually. Not quite positioned well enough, then Biles. We're going to see her backing away. She does have the Overload for high ground vision, so SCV is still going to go down. More Biles onto the depots. Going to force these SCVs to keep on repairing. There's the cancel in the command center. That's one of the things she needed. And we're going to see her still 5 workers killed, 6 workers killed, Link speed starting, still no natural hatchery. She breaks on through just as the siege tank's about to come up as well. Probably one of the better times to break up here as we see the tank coming out. 1 Ravager goes down immediately. SCV is pulled. 7 workers killed overall. Is that enough for Scarlett right now in this game? We're going to see maybe 1 last worker going down. Not quite. And the Lings will just sit on this low ground. I mean, a tank up, Link speed, and pneumatized carapace. She can go for kind of a Ling-based drop after this. As Lings come up this ramp, no speed, so can't really surround. And that's not looking too great right here. So Scarlett just backing away with those few Zerglings. And we're going to see the command center now coming up for Ryung. So command center coming up, but there's a medevac out, and so that makes this tank so effective at just doing so much. Scarlett goes for a lair off of 1 base. Wow. Well, that's different. That's a very different way to play As we're just going to be seeing Lelaire is going to be coming on the way up, going to be about halfway done in the very near future. So, finishing up very shortly, and we're just going to be seeing the Lings coming across the map once again. As we see the Zerglings just taking a little bit more damage once more. I mean, what's she going to try and do? Just one base Nidus? I mean, the thing is, Ryung sees she's still on one base, and that's, that's information. That's all. Should be a lot of the information I need. So we're going to see the. We're just going to be seeing these Lings just going to come in, and they're just going to be continue to try and fight against the tank. We're just going to be seeing the drone down the low ground, just going to be moving a hatchery. I mean, what's she going to do? She's got the gas. There has to be a Nidus, right? What else can you do? Spire? It would be possibly the worst thing I could imagine, but it is going to be a Spire. I mean, I just don't know what the Spire really does. I mean, we already see Libria on the way. I mean, Ryung just knows it's one base. These tanks are actually just going to end the game, I think. I don't think Scarlett's actually going to get Mutalisks up into the game in time before these tanks just kill her off. Aggressive build. Did some damage, but just not really enough. And I mean, Ryung's floating his natural into position right now. I mean, I just don't see what the Spire's going to do. I mean, I understand she's not in a great position. I understand she's a little bit behind. She's in a bit of a tough spot. I understand all of that, but is the Spire? I mean, obviously she feels the Spire is the best way she can come back. And again, maybe the game's pretty over anyways. Maybe the Spire is one of the best choices. Surprise Mutalisks, maybe, if just in case Ryung doesn't see it somehow, then maybe the Mutalisks can come in and they can clean up all of this and maybe actually get some good damage